What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the 3030 podcast. I'm joined, as always, by my sometimes co-host Trevor and our guest today, Fletcher Princep.
Hello, everybody.
Alright, so we're just going to start off, tell us how you know Matthew, what your relationship is,
Relationship? Okay. I've known Matthew. What? None? No relationship. Emotionally, physically, sexually, any sort. No, I've known Matthew since I was a small fella. And Matthew was a slightly older fella. And
Were you ever a small fella?
Well, I still am a small fella in many ways, but
okay.
No, I've known Matthew since I was young and have continued to know him when he's now old on this 3030 podcast. But and my relationship status, I don't know.
Married?
Married. It's not to matter, if that was the question.
Okay.
Yeah, so as we know, Matthew's turning 30 this year, it's a big milestone. What do you think this next year in Matthew's life has in store for him?
Oh, well, probably what he's had in store for the past 30 years as well is disappointment in himself and shame. No, I'm just kidding.
See, everybody else has answered that dishonestly. That's the most true answer to that question yet.
I don't know if it's going to change him. We'll see if it changes him. You know, sometimes people have the
midlife crisis.
The midlife crisis is 30. It hasn't hit him yet.
No.
But it could.
And he's past the middle of his life.
He's
at this rate, years ago.
At this rate, yeah. It's really started.
These are the golden years.
Yeah, the golden years. He's been running a lot, so hopefully he gets himself, good and fit, and that continues. But who knows, man? It's a mystery. You never know with this guy. He's switching it up all the time. So I can't tell you what's going to happen.
So you don't think he's settled down at all? You think he's gonna?
I don't know. It's either. He's about right here, right now. He either spirals into normal, or he just. Pirouettes and keeps going.
His spiral can only get him to normal. That's great.
We'll see.
Right. Do you think Matthew is who he wants to be?
Ooh. He's kind of a cryptic fella. He doesn't even know what he wants to be. He kind of does, and then he makes decisions that don't necessarily do that, but then he's like, yeah, that actually worked. And so he has accidentally turned himself into a person he wants to be, even though he doesn't admit that because he doesn't think it is.
He does use the wrong formula and get the results he wants.
He gets the results he wants. He doesn't use a formula that anybody else uses, but somehow they sometimes work, and it goes weird. No, Matthew, he's getting there. I think he's improving.
Okay.
I think he's improving.
Do you think he's almost there?
Ooh, like on a scale?
Yeah, scale 1 to 10.
What, 10 being there?
I was going to use percentage.
Okay,
I guess it doesn't really make a difference.
Sure.
79% there. He's like who he's meant to be.
Couldn't even give him 80, eh?
Yeah, not quite. Hopefully
80.
This year.
No, if he's 30 and he does some stuff, then he can easily get up to 80, 90. But right now, I think 79. I'll see tonight. We'll see how he's doing tonight. It could go down. It could go up on my estimations, but we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, he's going to know how last minute these are. I'll see you tonight at your party.
Sorry, not tonight.
In 2 months.
The party 3 months from now. Yeah.
When we're watching it in 4 hours.
You guys wearing the same clothes?
No, I'll change. Don't worry. He won't be able to tell.
Alright, through the time you've known Matthew, which is a long time, which you previously stated, what is different about him now? We'll start with that then, segue into the part 2. So what's different since you've known him? Other than he's not 10 years old.
Absolutely nothing. This man has not changed. He is consistent in that way.
You still say he's a boy on a mission?
He's a boy on a mission. He's been a boy on a mission for the past 30 years. That mission has kind of changed over the years, but
he hasn't.
He hasn't. I'm not saying this as in he needs to grow up way. I mean in a way that it's like he's consistent with kind of how he acts,
his
who
consistency,
he is. His personality is consistent.
Consistently inconsistent with his changing of the mission.
The mission, but no, he's consistent about who he is for sure. Absolutely.
Okay, so what do you think, you just said you were saying, but what is some attributes that have always been the same and that will always, what is a core characteristic of Matthew?
He's consistently,
Lies.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to make it a lie. I'm going to frame it in a good way.
Okay.
He somehow will put others especially the women he fancies, so far above himself that he will sacrifice himself for them. And that can be a good thing, but that's dangerous. Until the next woman comes. But he will sacrifice himself, his own good, his own comfort, in terrible ways, for the comfort of others. So that's a pretty good thing. And I think his comedy has stayed about the same. It's the same style.
It's still subpar.
He's got some wingers. His buttonless, his pull-away pants.
I can't believe how many people have referenced the tearaway pants on this podcast.
It's consistent.
It's a core
thing.
thing.
He breaks it out.
Better bust him out at that party in 3 months.
Tonight. In 2 months, right. But yeah, tearaway pants and his style of comedy is an interesting one, but it's consistent and it's there.
All right, now say on Tuesday, April 2nd, you wake up as Matthew, now 30 years old.
It's a bad day.
Yeah. What would you do differently to improve yourself this next year?
Ooh, what would I do if I was Matthew right now?
If you woke up as him on the 30th.
What would you do to improve?
Oh.
It's not that deep. It's like, what do you think?
I would throw away Matthew's sleeping bag that he sleeps on. I'm assuming he still sleeps on it. That would be like... That would get, that reference 79? That'd be 85.
Okay, wow.
That would jump to 6%.
So he doesn't have many stops to make it to 100.
The sleeping bag, I think, is a big one. There's a little box, I think, under his bed, made of cardboard and with some stuff. I think either...
That's 100, if that goes.
Well, if that goes... And if that goes back on the shelf because he's attained her, or if it goes in the trash, either way, that's a big one.
Either way, the moving of the
box can't stay under the bed. If it comes back as a major player in his life, great. Or if it's in the trash, either way, that would be a movement. That would be an upward move for sure.
Okay.
That's what I would do. I'd put the box on the mantle and commit to it.
Okay.
In the garbage or
on the mantle.
Or on the mantle.
So everybody knows he's going for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. You've known Matthew a long time, so you probably can't say one thing, but just like think of one of the funniest things you've seen him do.
Cool. Funniest thing I've seen Matthew do. Yeah, that's hard.
Keep in mind, you've already referenced the pants.
I've already referenced the pants. That's a bit, though. I think one of them is we were at Riley's birthday, and he was consistently almost suicidally funny that day. He was jumping off trees that were like 25 feet in the air. He almost jumped off a cliff. And then when we said, no, please don't do that, he's like, well, I don't know what you want. It's on film. You should drink more. You should kill yourself. It's like, whoa. And it was hilarious watching him shimmy on this tree on the edge of a 30-foot cliff with no regard for his own life. It worked, though. It worked as a bit.
So he lived.
Yeah. He lived, and it was funny, and it's on film. So
I honestly thought you were referencing the time he got there and he was totally drunk and his white tracksuit. He hops on the trike and goes down the hill.
That too as well. Oh, that was funny. That was very funny. That was my birthday as well.
Oh.
Yeah. He shows.
Riley's cottage.
He shows up in a white tracksuit, and it's like April, so everything is melty and muddy, and he's like, I'm gonna get on this trike, and then he just completely ruins his tracksuit. And then goes swimming in a barrel with me, basically naked. But yeah, that's another
a story for another time.
For another time.
That's the story. Like
31 podcast.
Right. How has Matthew impacted your life?
Oh, Matthew has been a pretty loyal friend, and he's pretty supportive. He's kind of like, yeah, you.
Go do that stupid thing.
Yeah, he's encouraging. He's absolutely encouraging. Whether that's in friendships and relationships and in physical health, he's there for you, and he's ready to encourage you. So I think so.
All right. Can you tell us about a moment where Matthew was an idiot?
Oh no, I can't tell you a moment.
A moment.
An idiot. Like just dumb or like. Oh.
I don't know, you're looking at him doing something, you're like, man...
That's bad.
Yeah.
We may have to edit this out. I gotta think of a juicy one. There's so many years, that's the problem. There's years of Matthew, and if you know Matthew well, that's years of some dumb stuff, but... What have other people said for reference?
This is the first time the question's in use.
Oh,
Yeah, nobody.
wow, it's a new question.
It's a
I
new
got thrown off
question.
by this one. Yeah, you're the first one.
Trevor, would you like to go since this wasn't on?
Yeah.
Idiot. I wasn't there, but there might have been a cheating scandal once upon a time, and he had to try to claim that certain people were other certain people. And yeah, I can't imagine it going well for him in that moment. But again,
I think along those lines, I wasn't there either, but the Photoshop gate situation, I don't understand it.
In Matthew's credit, it worked.
It worked.
So really,
there's no credit to that.
Photoshop gate is what I'll say. Again, that has to do with the box. That's a whole. But I'm like, oh man, you could have pulled this off in different ways, and Photoshop was. I mean, it worked. It worked. But holy cow!
Photoshopping people into other.
It was impressive. It was impressive, but I think it could have been handled.
the amount of time it took him to explain what the other photos had to be.
The complex thread. It was an incredibly sophisticated idiot thing to do.
I also think the loading of the cone to go see Alex.
That's an old one.
Yeah, it is an old one. I'm just gonna go play some music with Alex.
Because that would have been seeking to see Alyssa.
Yes.
Yeah, wow. It's like circa 2016.
That's old.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been a while with this guy. You're old, Matthew. Alright, now, share one of your best memories together with Matthew.
I think it's commemorated on our Instagram, or my Instagram. I have a post. It's the last video, and I forgot to edit it, so I swear on my Instagram, and I didn't want to, but I forgot it was there. We had just bought the Sea-Doos, first time up at Bear Lake Cottage, and we're all riding around, and they're barely working. And it is freezing. I'm wearing a skin-tight bikini bottom wetsuit, and Matthew is wearing a regular bathing suit, and it is so cold. And I'm on the little Sea-Doo putzing, and I don't know how to ride the thing at all. And Matthew jumps on, the Sea-Doo dies, and I'm like, push the start button. Okay, we go. And then I accidentally pull the key. Matthew falls off, the Sea-Doo starts, and I drive away. And I'm in the wetsuit, and he's not.
And he's in the lake.
And he is.
And you're not.
In the lake, and I'm not. And he's shivering, and that was hilarious. Everybody else is happy on a boat or on a Sea-Doo, and Matthew's just bone-chillingly
in the water.
going like this on the way home, because we were in Coagma. We weren't even in Bear Lake. We were on the other side.
So you gotta get back.
So we gotta head back. It's like a solid 10-minute boat
He's
ride.
in the wetsuit he bought on Matthew's birthday.
That's right.
And Matthew didn't even get a wetsuit that day.
He should have.
For a moment, he should have known that would happen.
Yes, I think that was hilarious on my end. Anyway, he did not enjoy it. But it was all my fault. I killed the Sea-Doo on purpose. No, I'm just kidding. But I think that's, yeah.
So that's pretty much wraps the questions. So now we go to the guests to create their own prompt or something that you set, a topic that should be discussed, something just something that should be talked about.
Should be talked about.
Yeah.
Other people didn't do this, so you don't have to.
Okay, no. We'll figure something out to talk about. Yeah. I want to know, we can talk behind Matthew's back before the party in 2 months about current events. Has there been any comedic genius events in the recent history?
Comedic events
in the recent history.
No, I don't mean his stand-up comedy at
CW.
No, we won't even mention that. Comedic
anything that has happened where it's like, that's a Matthew move.
What's he done recently?
There has been
or has he been kind of slowing down?
Lately.
A lot of drinking?
Yeah.
I don't think he could even recall something recently. Yeah.
No.
That's the danger. You forget. You
forget what you're doing.
You forget what you're doing.
Yeah. This is the precursor to the intervention.
Yeah.
I see. This is the intervention. Matthew, you have a problem. Now everybody has to say it. It's like, yeah. I can imagine, you've seen, obviously, what's his name? The comedian there, who does Big Mouth.
Oh, Nick Kroll.
The other one.
John Mulaney?
John Mulaney's comedy special
Yes, about his intervention.
I can picture Matthew with the same style, walking in, fresh haircut. I'm the best looking one in the room right now. These guys all look like crap. Yeah. That I can imagine it going a similar way.
Okay.
And he's like, I'm gonna take over this intervention.
I mean, depending how this next year goes, I think the video for next year will just be an intervention.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, so if you don't have anything to say, just look in any one of the cameras and tell the fans what you got going on these days. Like, where can people find you?
Where can people find me? You can find me in my house.
Singing karaoke?
Singing karaoke on Thursdays, or in my house naked.
Is that why we couldn't film?
We couldn't film there.
Can't put clothes
No,
on.
well,
He walks in the door.
I walk in the door.
naked.
I strip down. That is.
Are you joking?
The rule is written on the door. I'm not joking. No,
You do that.
I do that.
Like, I come home and put shorts on, but that's about it.
Yeah, but
You go out with shorts on.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You got people around.
You're
The only person that's usually in my house is somebody who has seen my willy. So
I mean, that could be a lot of people.
I could be, but doesn't shun and screech in horror at seeing my. She does sometimes. But I don't want to say I force it upon her, but
Not on camera, at least.
Anyway, yeah, you can find me around, so hit me up if you want to.
All right, well, thanks for joining us, and this has been yet another
Thanks for having me.
30 podcast.
Thanks for-
Oh, say happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. 30-30.
A few of them we've sang to him, if you want to do that. Or
Sure. What do we want to... Just the regular happy birthday?
Do you have another one?
There was no singing?
Happy
Happy birthday, we're going to you. Now you're 30.
Fuck you.
You should be 32.
30. Yeah.
Wow.
Happy 25th. Part 2.
Part 5.
Just,
Part 5.
Happy birthday to you.
There we go.
Happy birthday, dear Matthew. Happy birthday to you.
Hang on. One more time.
This is all
From the
going in.
top.
You appreciate
This is
the
all going in, yeah.
I have done-
Bonus scene.
Months of practice. Fuck.
There we go.